called Warm Up. Do you like that one? You don't hear it at every concert. In fact, a lot of middle schools don't warm up. I think I'm on to something, so. All right, I still see people coming in. So, welcome. What is this? I don't know. It's an incredible celebration. So, yeah. You knew me when? 34 years ago. When I was young and pretty. Look what happened to me. So it's really, really great to have so many of you here tonight. A lot of family and friends here, and old friends, not in the sense of ancient, in the sense of haven't seen you in a long time. And one of the things when I sat down with Kira and Lucy a year and a half ago, they said, "You're going to retire next year. What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I want to do two things. I want to do something that includes the current students performing, and I want to bring in, world-class guest artists, somebody like Bergeron. We'll never get him, though. Can't get him." And I said, I want to try to bring back an alumni band if there's interest. And fortunately, there's been a lot of interest. So you guys are in for a treat, a great night of jazz and music, and I'll probably start crying if I keep going. So I just want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. It's truly remarkable after 33 years. So we're going to open with a piece by a good friend of mine, Brian Becker. And Brian is actually a friend of mine who was my college jazz instructor. And he did a lot of writing. So he wrote this chart, and this chart you missed. Thank goodness I'm short. He wrote this chart, and we're going to feature on this one Rayon on the trombone, Josh on the alto sax, Nitin on the flute on this one. Okay, and Alex and Jackson are going to do a piano and bass kind of trade fours thing, and Owen is going to play on the alto sax. This is an original composition by Brian Becker, and it's called Jump, Jive, and Squeak. You'll get the you'll understand the reference in just a minute. Did you want to say something, Karen? You can talk. This beautiful lady is our booster president. This is Karen Markowski.
Thank you, everybody, so much. What an honor it is to be here with you tonight to celebrate an absolute legend, Mr. Dan Robbins. I know I speak for all of you when I say how thankful we are for you, and I'm not going to look at you because I will cry. And you really do change the world and make the world a better place because of who you are, bringing communities together, inspiring kids to be their best selves. So many things, and we're thankful for you, and so we hope that you feel all the love tonight. and can reflect on your 33 years of magic. Tonight we have some distinguished guests here, and I'd like to thank them for being here. We have the Honorable Trish Kelly, Mission Viejo City Council member. Thank you so much for being here. We have Susie Schwartz, our president of the SVUSD Board of Education. Michelle Sparks, vice president of Board of Education. And Amanda Morrell and Barbara Schulman, who are our board members. Also, Miss Tiffany Harville, our wonderful president, our principal here at the box. And I also want to just give a great big shout out to all of our sponsors who are making this night possible. We're so thankful for you. So many families contributed to make this happen. Also, our local businesses who volunteered to support our students so we could throw this party for you. Aquatico and Mission Viejo Fit Body Boot Camp. So if you can support those businesses and thank them for supporting our students, we would be so grateful. And a huge special thanks to Tyler. I don't know where he is. TRI. Tyler, can you please come and say hello? There we go, right there. Tyler, TRI Audio Events and Services. He is an alumni of Mr. Robbins, and this was his brainchild. They have been out here. Woo! You can say something if you want. I just wanted to say hello and just, he's the brainchild making this stage happen. We've been in works for about 6 months to get this going, and we're just so grateful for you. This is an incredible setup, all because of you. Thank you.
Stuff you've done for all these kids.
Amazing. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. And last but not least, I've been communicating with everybody and getting this all together, but there is one person who has made the magic happen behind the scenes, and that is Lucy. Where are you, Lucy? Hello, Lucy Maria. This day and night would not have happened without this woman. Every detail, every sign, every little detail that was thought of was because of Lucy. And she does not even have children here at this school. So we're so grateful for her. Amazing. Okay. Thank you for all you do. All right, take it away, sir. Thank you.
I'm going to do original by Brian Becker. No, I said that. This is Jump, Jive, and Squeak. Part of the song we call the vamp, which means I get to talk. I might sing a song, but in all sincerity, once again, I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. People traveling from near and far, and this is the La Paz Jazz Ensemble, and we're delighted to be here tonight. And please enjoy the music. Once again, Brian Becker's Jump, Jive, and Squeak. Okay, so once again, these kids sitting behind me are 7th and 8th grade, for real. 7th graders, can you just like raise your hand or something so they can see the number of 7th graders we have in here? Yeah. So, very, very, very cool. We're going to move on here. I did want to recognize a few people because I know what they look like my family members, my brother and his wife, and my sister and her husband are here, and lots of friends that we call family, Uncle Fu. So all of those folks. If you're here as a family member or a really close friend, can you stand up, please? Come on. Jay and Nancy. Awesome. All right. And my beautiful wife here in the front. She's crazy. In a good way. Also, I started playing trumpet in 6th grade. And when I got into 7th grade, all the good kids said, oh, you got to take lessons from Bernie. Bernie's the best. You're nothing if you don't study with Bernie. So I started taking lessons with Bernie. And my dad drove me to my first lesson because I didn't drive yet, not legally anyway. And so I went to my first lesson, and it went very well. He was awesome. And he goes, I have bad news. I'm moving. So he ended up moving a block from me. How cool is that? Bernie is here tonight. Bernie Parsons, can you stand up, Bernie? Right here. I just want you to know, I still remember most of my fingerings. Yeah. You still have to remind me one more time what articulation means, but we'll get there. So we're going to play another selection for you here. This is a great chart called Walkin' the Blues. We're going to open up actually with Alex on the bass, followed by Jackson on the piano, and then you're going to hear from Rayon once again on the trombone, Preston on the alto sax, Beckett on the tenor sax, Austin on the alto sax, and Koshiro, one of our great trumpet players back there, 7th grader. And this is Walkin' the Blues. Thank you so much. I've had a lot of fun preparing for this. It's quite a challenge for young musicians like this because the music we normally play is hard, and the music we're learning to play with our guest artist, who's going to be coming out momentarily, it's very high level. It's not middle school. Honestly, if you're good at high school, maybe, but it's hard. And they rose to the occasion very nicely, and so I'm super duper proud of these kids. And it's, you've heard of big band. This is pretty big. The Wayne was telling me he just played with a big band in Wisconsin at 70, so we're not quite that big yet. So, but speaking of Wayne, for those of you that don't know Wayne Bergeron very well, he's one of the great musicians of the world. And to say he's one of the best trumpet players, everybody knows that. He's not only legendary, he's a rock star. And he travels the world, and he makes music, but he's a heck of a nice guy. And I met him back in the 1980s when he was playing at Disneyland, and I was in like the lowest level group you can get in, and I was just happy to be playing my trumpet. And he was the nicest guy then, still is. And we're going to bring him out and do a beautiful composition here called Time and Time Again. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wayne Bergeron.
Hey there, how's everybody doing? Sorry, we're having some logistical issues. There's like 10 more people up here than there were at soundcheck. So they all look so nice and sound so great, don't they? I'm honored to be up here with my friend Dan. I've known this guy for, I guess it's been 40 years. I mean, I met him, he was, like he said, working at Disneyland, and I was working there, and we hit up a friendship, and I've kind of followed his educational career from the beginning when he was student teaching. And it's really, won a lot on my heart. It's great for you to have me up here, and you've done such a great job with all these kids. Some of the alumni that I talked to, the stories and stuff, most are good. Anyway, we're going to do a Tom Kubis arrangement. It's a professional level arrangement that this band is going to play, this young band. And it's I usually come out and start playing a bunch of high notes and making a bunch of racket, but I'm going to start a little softer and gentler on my flugelhorn here. And this is an original composition by Tom Kubis called Time and Time Again. So it's interesting hearing a band tune. I always like, I'll have, hey, can you give me a B flat or give me an A? Just to be honest with you, as a brass player, when the oboe player in the orchestra gives that A, I take it out of courtesy. My tuning slide on my trumpet has not moved in 50 years. So unless that A is magically gone to some other place, because we play by ear, we have slides on here. So as horn players, we make all these adjustments, and the trombones are holding the tuning slide, so there's never any reason for them to play out of tune. But the violin, the viola, the cello, the bass violin, the weather affects those instruments greatly, so that's really who the A is for when we give that tuning note. It's funny that like string players spend half their lives tuning up, then the other half playing out of tune. All right, you want me to stop talking now?
It's another story, Uncle Wayne. Pretty cool, huh? You want the mic again? Wayne talks like a band director, which is a lot. It's good, I like that. Next composition is called Who Me, and it's by Frank Foster. It's going to feature Wayne, of course, but we're also going to feature a few of our other kids who like the blues, such as, you may not know about Rayon, our lead trombone player, likes to solo. So he's going to solo on this one, and the next one, and next week. Also Preston again on the alto saxophone. You're going to hear from Koshiro on the trumpet. Austin again on the alto sax, Weston on the tenor saxophone, Owen once again on the alto, and then of course the great Wayne Bergeron. And you're also going to hear from Matthew on the piano on this chart. Anything you want to add?
Nice job. I was going to do that, but I don't know their names. So, hey, so you just saw that first instrument I played, which is flugelhorn, right? And how many parents are out here? Who here has ever bought anything used? A used trumpet, trombone, violin bow, saxophone, right? Nothing wrong with that. All the kinds of great used vintage instruments and stuff that are really, really great. But there's certain pieces of gear, I'm going to use one of them now, that you need to know the origins of, and you have to purchase new, right? And that would be this. Yeah, you don't want to be buying a used plunger mute. You need to know, if it comes with a stick, I'd be very, very leery. So when I travel all over the place, and I do things with plunger mute, but I never put one in my luggage, because when I put it in my luggage, they always go through my luggage, because they think I'm some kind of terrorist plumber or something like that. I don't know. So I always wondered who the first person to do this was. Hey, got an idea, honey, go get a plunger mute out of it. A plunger out of the, and then anyway, it's a really great effect and can make the trumpet or the trombone talk a little bit. So I'm going to use that on this. This tune was actually written for the great Snooky Young, who played first trumpet in the Count Basie Orchestra for many years, and probably on one hand, greatest lead trumpet players of all time, and my personal favorite. So yeah, this is for me.
How about Wayne, everybody? it's fun to have a band like this because they show up at the beginning of the year and there's like 2 kids that'll solo, Rayon and somebody else. And not last year though, I can remember being a little shy. Glad you grew out of that. And now, like some of them are about to cry if I don't call on them. So it's a really, really good problem to have that they all want to solo. And Wayne's been great. He's like, yeah, let them all solo if they want to. But you'd be here all night if I let them all solo. So we're going to do one more chart for you guys featuring Wayne once again. I can't even tell you how much this means. So I'll try not to. But yeah, I'm one of those people that watches Little House on the Prairie. No lie, my wife will tell you. She can't stand it, by the way. You know, Pa always comes and saves the day, and you gotta love that. So we're gonna do another Brian Becker arrangement that he actually wrote for us, and actually he dedicated it to myself. So how cool is that? So this is Samba de la Noche, and we got a lot of solos. Let's find out how many people are gonna solo on this one. Good news, Rayon is going to solo on the trombone. I know you were worried. Nitin is going to solo on the flute this time. This kid right here, first kid at jazz band every day. First kid here tonight. I got here at 5. He was already here warming up. This guy right here. How about a hand for Nitin? This guy. Yeah. And then Evan on the bass trombone, or tenor trombone. Tenor trombone, okay, he's like, no, it's tenor trombone, Mr. Robbins. Just look at it, it's not big enough, okay. And Preston again on the alto sax, and Owen once again on the alto, and of course, the great Wayne Bergeron. Once again, this is Brian Becker's Samba de la Noche. We're also gonna do a cool vamp at the end, featuring our percussion section and our drum set player, Rain Collier, who apparently has some friends, but don't do the rain dance, okay guys? I've warned you about that.
It is the school district.
Mr. Ray Collier on the drum set in our rhythm section. Saxons, trombones, trumpets, everybody. Great job. I didn't tell you that. All right, very cool. So we're going to think of, I don't know what we're doing. Kira knows what we're doing. Here she comes on cue. Thanks.
Thank you, La Paz Jazz Band. That was an amazing performance. We're so grateful for you. Thank you so much to Bergeron. While the kids, students, can you start gathering your things and heading off stage? And while we do that, Mr. Robbins, don't go far.